take a moment to look at this image on screen. This diagram explains something very simple and very powerful. Two people can live in the same world and yet experience completely different realities. In NLP, we call this the model of the world. Before I explain it, let me help you experience it. Imagine for a moment that your attention is guided to notice everything around you that is in red color. I repeat, I invite you all to look around and notice everything that is shown in red color. Your awareness would narrow, your focus would lock in. Now, I invite you all to close your eyes and try and recall everything that was in blue color. I repeat, now close your eyes and try to recall everything that was in blue color. You might struggle, not because blue was absent, but because your mind was guided to filter differently. Nothing in the environment changed, only your focus changed. That is the model of the world in action. Now, let me share a short story with you. There once was a young man named Ivan. Ivan grew up in a small apartment with his parents and 6 brothers and sisters. Life was not easy, so he left school early and began working as an apprentice in a bakery. At first, everything seemed fine except for one thing. Ivan believed that one of the senior bakers was constantly picking on him, no matter how hard Ivan tried. He felt criticized, scolded, and unfairly treated. After months of holding it in, Ivan finally exploded. Words were exchanged, the master baker arrived, and Ivan was dismissed, fired on the spot. Standing alone in the street, Ivan decided not to go home. Instead, he boarded a night train and traveled to another city. Once again, he found work in a bakery. And once again, history repeated itself. A strict master, a sense of injustice, an angry reaction, and Ivan was fired again. He moved further east, new city, new bakery, same pattern. Eventually, Ivan stood at a harbor, staring into calm water. As he looked down, he saw his reflection. And suddenly, something shifted. He didn't just see his face. He saw the same situation repeating in his life. City after city, job after job, authority after authority. And for the first time, Ivan realized something profound. The problem wasn't the cities, it wasn't the bakeries, it wasn't even the masters. The pattern was inside him. Since childhood, after being treated unfairly by his father, is what he believed, Ivan had unconsciously decided authority is unfair. That's the decision he made, and that's the belief he lived on. And through that belief, he interpreted every authority figure the same way. In that moment of reflection, Ivan understood that he did not need to travel any further outward. He needed to travel inward. That insight changed his life. This story captures the heart of NLP. We do not experience the world as it is. We experience the world through our model of the world. Now let's return to this image on screen and understand Ivan's story through this image that you see on screen. On the right side is the external world. which is not in your control, everything happening outside of us. For Ivan, this included different cities, different bakeries, and different authority figures. Objectively, these were different situations, but between the external world and Ivan's experience sat a filter, as you can see on screen. That filter was shaped early in life by a painful experience with his father. That was his belief. From that moment on, Ivan carried an unconscious belief: authority is unfair. When information entered from the outside, a correction, a tone of voice, a comment from a senior, his mind automatically deleted anything neutral or even supportive. It distorted feedback into criticism, and it generalized one experience into a rule about all authority figures. Although the territory, the external world, kept changing, Ivan's map stayed the same. That filtered information became his internal representation. Inside his mind, he replayed the same story. I am being targeted. I am being treated unfairly. I have to defend myself. That inner story created his internal state: anger, frustration, resentment. That state affected his physiology. His body tightened, his voice sharpened, his reactions became impulsive, and from that physiology came his behavior: speaking back, exploding, crossing the line. The behavior changed the outcome: dismissal, loss of opportunity, another move, and the cycle repeated. Not because the world was against Ivan, but because Ivan was unconsciously reliving the same map of reality. The turning point came when Ivan stepped back and saw the pattern. When the map became visible, it also became changeable. I repeat, when the map becomes visible, it also becomes changeable. And in NLP, we call it the map is not the territory. The map can be incomplete. The map can be outdated. The map can be changed. And this is deeply empowering. Because if your experience is shaped by your map, then awareness gives you choice. I repeat, if your experience is shaped by your internal map, then awareness gives you choice. Choice to question the filter, choice to update the meaning, choice to respond differently. NLP is not about changing the world. It is about understanding how you are creating your experience of it. And when the map changes, your experience changes. So here is a question to leave you with. What patterns keep repeating in your life? Pay attention. What patterns keep repeating in your life, and what filter might be creating those patterns in your life? If you're curious to explore this deeper, to identify your own patterns, understand your filters, and consciously redesign your responses, I invite you to join us for our NLP learning journey, if you wish to do so, where we work step by step to recognize these inner maps, our patterns in life, and expand choice in everyday life. Because the moment you see the map, you are no longer trapped inside it. and you have a choice to create the life that you want and that which is for your highest good. Thank you very much.